Welcome back everyone to more Motorsport Manager Online. And in today's video, we are going to try and finish up what we couldn't do in our previous video. So you remember back to our previous video, we had a simple goal, 2 races to earn enough points to be promoted. Well, we came up 10 points shy of that goal due to some interesting issues. So in today's video, we are going to clean that up, get our promotion, and that's going to unlock more parts that we can upgrade and hopefully stay in line with winning races and having podium finishes in each of the divisions that we're in. You can already see that we've got some driver upgrades to perform. And then here within the next few videos, we're going to have some decisions to make about drivers. Do we keep our current driver lineup? Do we swap at least one of them out? That kind of thing. Also, you notice sponsors. I've been coming in here. We're up to 1.55 million. I've been coming in here and getting the sponsor money as well as the free money from the store. Not the video free money, but the regular free money that you get for logging in every so many hours. So all of that has been taken care of. If you take a look at the leaderboard, you can see we've got about 9 hours remaining in this particular season, and we're sitting at 4,345 for a bonus of 4.2 million if things ended exactly like this. So I like where we are. I'm definitely looking forward to getting that bonus amount of money because we're going to need that going forward because these HQ upgrades are getting more and more expensive. And then of course, the better the drivers we get, the closer we get to level 10 on their upgrades, the more and more expensive it becomes. So we're going to need more and more money, and that is going to be the best way to achieve that. Also, when we come into the storefront and scroll basically down to the bottom, what we're going to be looking for are these materials. We've already seen that we get materials at the end of each race, but it's not necessarily the materials that we need or in the amount that we need. So this is going to be a great way for us to pick up some additional materials as we need to. We just hope that we can find some good deals. And this also opens up a reason for us to want to generate tokens from our sponsors rather than just straight money. So all of these things we're trying to keep in mind and trying to learn as we go along. So before today's first race, let's go into the drivers, and we need to do some upgrades here. Obviously, we're going to go straight for the race pace. So let's go ahead and max that out at 79. So there's our +6. Only going to cost us 172K because we're still very young in the upgrades for Jessica. That takes us down to 1.37, but brings Jessica up to a 70 overall and definitely increases her race pace. She's almost at an 80 at this point. Championship average for the drivers, 69, which is, we're just a tad over that, particularly with Jessica, our newest driver. So I feel pretty good about where we are with her. We got 8 races remaining with her, only 5 remaining with Claudia before we've got some decisions to make. All right, I believe that takes care of everything. I'm going to hold off on any HQ upgrades just for a few races, maybe a couple of videos, while we're seeing how our money accumulates. Again, once this leaderboard season ends and we get that extra money, that's going to open us up quite a bit. But for now, I'm going to keep the money we have just in case we need it. All right, so we're headed for Vancouver, and a very high chance of rain, 31%. Last few races, in fact, we've been at venues that had 30 or more % chance of rain, so who knows what we're likely to get. You saw there our sponsorship bonus is going to come from finishing 11th or better. We certainly want to make sure we can do that. Of course, soft tire bonus and hard tire bonus, which are basically passive bonuses for me. It doesn't require me to remember to do anything during the race, which is exactly what I want. All right, let's go ahead and continue on through that. And let's see, what do we get? 9th and 16th. Okay, not terrible, not great, obviously, but you kind of expect to be toward the rear of the field when you're using the hard tire, especially once the medium tire becomes available. All right, so 8 laps, and we'll go ahead and go conservative. And okay, we'll go conservative with both for right now. We might be able to tune that up just a little bit, particularly for Jessica as we get closer to halfway in the second half of the race. Okay, right now we're seeing the usual first lap jittery behavior from the cars as the game sort of figures out everybody's connection and gets everything on the track between the lines. All right, so I like where we are here at the front of the pack. Of course, right now Jessica not having such good luck back in 18th position. But Claudia is in a huge group of cars, which includes the podium position. So we've got a lot to gain, a lot to lose here these first few laps of the race. So our goal right now with Claudia is to make it through lap 4. So complete lap 4 and actually pit as lap 4 is beginning. On the screen you can see what would have been quite a bit of contact over the last lap or so, and that's pretty normal for us, unfortunately. Thankfully the game though doesn't really count contact as part of the formula, otherwise we would be in deep trouble. Alright, so we're at 49% here on lap 3, so I think we're actually in a position where we can move this up, but I'm going to make absolutely sure before I do that. Okay, so 27% is what we're looking at. We're at 38 right now as we're about to come back around. There we go, start-finish line. All right, so we're starting this lap with about 32. So yeah, we've got this in really good shape. Now remember, we're not planning on making any pit stops here with Jessica if we can help it. So while we're in clean air, we're going to try to get out here and get everything we can get on this particular lap. So let's go ahead and cue up those soft tires. I don't see any rain, even though there's a pretty high chance of it. All right, there we go. Coming in for our pit stop. Let's work our way back to conservative. All right, so now let's take a look at where Jessica's at. We're on lap 5 of 8. She is basically right where we need her to be in order to make it the full distance. So I really don't want to increase beyond that conservative route on her, because I think she's going to come really close to using up the full amount of tire for the race. All right, meanwhile, we've worked our way up to 5th. So far, so good. I'm liking this. And of course, we've already seen that the tires, we can make it on one stop. Okay, keeping an eye out for reliability, 42 and 42% there. So not huge numbers, but at the same time, I think we're okay to push a little bit if we get into a situation where our tires will allow it and if we actually need to. All right, looking at the tires in front of us, you can see that 1st and 3rd are headed to the pits now. And let's see, behind us, looks like everybody's pretty good. In fact, behind us on tire, at least for the next few positions. All right, so that puts us in 2nd position, 2 laps remaining. So let's see, where are we on tire? Not quite at the point where we could go to neutral just yet. Sitting here 2nd and 6th position. So you can see those hard tires, even though we haven't made any pit stops, the hard tires just aren't fast enough to really make this happen. All right, now we can go, in fact, we can go full attack mode and try to get this race victory. That'll use up, should be every bit of the tire we have remaining. All right, so Jessica just starting. I think we can get by with neutral for this final lap on her. But let's see what we can do with Claudia about pushing hard. Let's go ahead and go full high mode. We need to get that first place. Oh, we're so close right here. Can we get it? Final turn? Not quite. All right, so Jessica up to 6th, and that's where she'll bring it home. So we basically used up everything we had as far as tires and even engine, I believe. Pretty close to that. So that makes me happy with where we finished. 2nd and 6th, so we didn't destroy the competition, which is what I like to see out of this game as we progress. As fun as it might be to bring home 1-2 finishes in every race and run away from the competition, it's not fun for very long, because you want that competition aspect, and you want to have to struggle to make your way forward. You want to have to improve your car, improve your drivers in order to continue getting those race victories. So obviously we earned way more than enough points to get the promotion, but probably more important, we earned quite a bit of money. So we'll come home with 550,000. All right, so what do we get? Sheet metal and copper wire. Okay, so these are definitely the two most common elements. We've got to have just a ton of copper wire, and thankfully we're starting to get some more sheet metal as well. All right, we'll go ahead and move on through here and see that now we're sitting at 4,353 for a bonus of 4.35 million. All right, so now we need to make some decisions on what part we're going to improve, and that's probably going to be performance this time. I need to see if we can't get some of these parts and pieces improved on their performance. But as always, we got to look at reliability first. All right, so that takes care of the F class, moving us right up into the E class. But most importantly, let's take a look at what we unlocked. Looks like we got a couple of drivers and a strategy. So the strategy is the medium tire. So now we've got medium tires, a full second faster, plus a bonus on the race start. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see what David has got. Can we not? Okay, nope, I was thinking I could. We got Nilo and David, both at 73 overall. And also remember, we've got a bonus of +3 on all of the teammate stats if we find another American driver. So this is very intriguing to me. Also, I like this idea of the medium setup. We'll just have to see how that fits with what we've currently been using with the hard and the soft tire. All right, so we got some new championships, and so right now I'm going to go with, oh wow, we have mixed, open wheel, and GT. I'm going to go with the mixed so that we can keep using our stock car. And so now let's see, what type of rule changes do we have, if any? So top 15, which is what we're used to, no refueling, no safety car, standard qualifying 3 compounds. All right, so it's exactly the same as what we have been dealing with. So let's go ahead and join that one. All right, and we're going to keep everything exactly the same. We don't have a whole lot to choose from because I have not purchased any additional liveries, so we'll leave that as is. All right, now we get a chance to work on those parts. Let's see, a lot of 70s on here, which I don't like for reliability. And of course, now that we've moved up into a new division, we're going to have some improvements, some upgrades to make before too long. So we've got to keep that in mind as well. So the lowest part looks like it's going to be our suspension right here. So let's just go ahead and finish that off and get it up above 80. And then everything else will likely be replaced before too terribly long. All right, let's go in under parts and let's see exactly what we have available. So our brakes, what do we need to upgrade those? All right, so we just need this, only one level available to us. So we'll go ahead and upgrade to level 13. All right, plus 20 on performance, and we want to go ahead and build those. Okay, 125K. I'm becoming much more aware of the amount of money here in the last few videos. Okay, now we go over to suspension, and let's see what we have available here. Only one level here as well, and we need some more metal, a total of 5 of those. So let's come back out and go to the store. Scroll down to the bottom. So we need 5 more metal right here. We've got plenty of tokens to pick that up, so I'm going to go ahead and make this purchase. All right, there we go. And of course, we've got some gears available should we need those also, but only plus 5 for 8 tokens. So we'll have to see how that works out. Now we can come back in. Only one level available, level 9. We'll take that upgrade as well. Okay, that gives us a plus 30. We definitely want to get started on that. Only 100K, so I really like that. Okay, and then finally the gearbox. What do we have? One level available, and we have just enough to make it happen. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. All right, so this is going to get us to max performance as soon as we can build enough parts to fit both of the cars anyway. All right, so we were able to get our first group of parts, upgraded parts, taken care of with very little money, quite frankly, being spent on that. So I like that. So as we come back, it's time for more driver upgrades. So once again, Jessica Monroe, there's our team chemistry that we were talking about just a moment ago. And so we got a plus 6, and of course I'm using that plus 6 on her race pace, 230,000. No problem at all. We'll take care of that. Okay, that moves her up to a 71. Look at that. Oh, team chemistry is now upgraded to a level 2. All stats plus teammate stats are a plus 5. Okay, that's going to be hard to pass up when it's time to look at a new driver. I mean, that is huge. All stats and teammate stats, I mean, that seems overpowered. If ever there's an OP stat, that looks like that's going to be it, or a trait rather. Wow, that is huge. But we got 4 more races before we have to make that type of a decision. Okay, so that takes care of our drivers. And let's see, so we got parts being built. What about sponsors? Are we still well away from having any issues there? We've already talked about holding off on the HQ for right now. Drivers, let's take a look at our strategy here. So if anything, we would change the hard tire strategy to try to get something a little bit faster. All right, so what I would really be interested in, if anything, we've got pit stop bonuses, which we've seen, something like wheel gun training, which we've used before. Aggressive strategy is not bad, but your starting energy is -2 laps. I don't particularly like that because that's going to mean I'm going to have to be very aware of where things are and not run us out of energy through the engine. That's why that's not a great thing for me. Now, the pit stop mastery we've used quite a bit because it is awesome. Pit stops less than a second is hard to beat. All right, so now we've also got super conservative style, which is very nice. Wet handling, which we've looked at. Let's go with the medium tire setup, and let's see what we can do with that. It may not be what we're looking for, but hey, we'll see exactly how it works and if it's going to be something for us. So now this gets us on the 2 faster tires of the 3 available. So we've got 1 second faster per lap and a bonus on race start as well. So I like that. And of course, Claudia is on the soft tire bonuses. Okay, not bad overall. So let's see, do we have everything done? It looks like it. Everything's being built. All of our upgrades are done. Let's head back to the track. And it looks like we're headed back to Singapore. Once again, a pretty large chance of rain. Looks like we got a night race, 9 laps, and we need to finish 8th or above. So let's go to our medium tire. It's very hard not to click on the hard tire. So we got medium tire. There you can see our additional bonus. A little bit extra wear available on these tires. So we'll see how all this works out. Everything looks good to me. So we'll go ahead, fast forward. So everything looks like it's going to be in the dry, at least at the beginning of the race. So we'll see how the race unfolds. We'll start off 8th and 16th, which is not bad considering where we are. Remember, we don't have any upgrades yet for this particular division, so we should be well down in the order. So what do we have here? Looks like we can do we can do 4 to 5 laps. Let's go conservative. And then with Claudia, we'll do just a 3-lap stint. Yeah, let's leave her with a little bit of speed, or at least much speed as we're going to have right now. So we'll give her that. And so we're going to drop down toward the back of the field. I do see some medium tires in here. Looks like 1 or 2 hard tire choices, but overall you see a lot of soft tires here. And so far, so good. Of course, we're in a huge group of cars right now. So this is another one of those situations where we can gain or lose 3-4 positions easily in a lap, sometimes even in a corner. All right, so right now we're basically trying to do a one-stopper with Jessica. Oh, wow, that was a nice little run we had down the straightaway, but unfortunately we couldn't carry that momentum for Claudia into the next corner. All right, let's go up to neutral now, because I believe we've got enough tire remaining to make that happen. All right, so sitting just outside of the level we need to be for our sponsor bonus. We need to be in the top 8. And we're sitting just outside of that at 9th and 14th. So now here we start off with the first pit stops. And once again, I have messed up. I have lost sight of what I was doing. So we're going to try to make this work as best we can. I needed to come in that time with Claudia. So once again, I have messed up the timing. So now I'm just trying to make it to the end. 3, 2, 1, and so we're out of tire, but thankfully it's right here at the end of the lap, so it's not as huge as it could have been. All right, let's go back to the neutral performance, and we're back in 7th. Okay, now we're going to be coming in once again. There we go. All right, we'll go ahead into conservative. Oh, never mind. We're perfectly fine there. I didn't realize we were so close to the end of the lap, so we're perfectly fine on tire. All right, 3.1 seconds on the pit stop. All right, and we'll come out in, looks like 10th, at least for right now. We'll see how things shake out. And so the two drivers are about 8 seconds apart right now. And again, a good bit of that is the tire that we're using in addition to the conservative or neutral strategy of driving style. Okay, I'm going to swap back over to... All right, let's go ahead and push here. We're going to pit this next time. Have not seen any indications of rain as of yet anyway. And we're getting toward the end of the race. Last couple of laps underway. All right, so we're going to come in and pit for our final time here, using up all of those tires that we can. Reliability still okay at 41%. Let's see, what kind of tire wear are we going to get? 35, so we're going to leave it on full attack mode. We now have both drivers. Let's see, we barely have enough to attack with both drivers, so let's go ahead and do that. Both drivers sitting above that 8th place barrier there, 6th and 7th. So I'm sitting pretty happy right now. As we finish up this race, looks like we're going to come home with, what, 6th and 7th, if this all works itself out, but there's still a few more positions to be had. All right, yeah, tires should be perfectly fine on both cars. Sitting in 5th and 6th, I don't see anybody else remaining in front of us that's going to be reachable. So if we come home in those 2 positions, that'll give us all the bonuses that we can get. And overall, I'm going to be very happy with that. So 5th and 6th without any upgrades, that is perfect. Because now that means if we get the strategy the way we need to, and if I can keep myself from forgetting to pit when we need to pit, we are in pretty good shape. Starting to see a few new driver names, which is really welcome. It's hard sometimes whenever half the teams have the same drivers. It's hard to get used to that and figure out who's your driver. And of course, it sort of breaks the immersion for me quite a bit. So we're going to come home with 225,000 plus, most importantly, those driver XP points, so we continue to improve our driver. Our next promotion is at 155 points. So we picked up 21 there. So I consider that to be an excellent start. Let's get a few more parts and pieces. So gears, we don't get very many of those at any one time. Then some extra sheet metal. We could have used that sheet metal a few videos ago. We really needed it then. All right, so we're up to 4,367, 4.48 million. Not bad. Now let's see what kind of parts and pieces we're going to try to improve. But of course, remember, we've got our first round of 3 components, so that'll take care of one entire car. They'll be ready before our next race. So really all we're concerned about is one car, and that's Claudia's car, since we're going to give these upgrades to Jessica right now. All right, so we're going to forget about these parts except for any switches we might want to make when the time comes. But right now, all right, what is this part? Okay, it's only down on -5, so that's not huge. So I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and do a reliability fix there. But overall, I think we're in good shape. We can swap out these brake packages right there. And other than that, yeah, we're going to be in great shape. So we'll confirm that. And it looks like we got one part that is done and about 12 minutes before the rest are taken care of. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more Motorsport Manager Online.